Wendy Bill here. Well, I'm at the site of a very important piece of history. Modern history in a sense. There's those old telephone lines we was talking about. But what we are looking at here this is an old AT&T microwave station. And this is a pretty nice one. It has all the horned antennas still on the tower, although the cable has been salvaged and removed. But if you look at it, this was the backbone of our nation from about 1956, 57, all the way up until they got rid of them, did away with them, sometime in the late 70s. They didn't last long, but they were important. Now, these microwave towers, they average about 20 to 40 miles apart. They're always on a high point. And they crisscross the United States, Canada, and then go overseas and do the same thing. They were the backbone of communications. And when I talk about communications, I'm talking about telephone service. This was the telephone service. Everything went by microwave, and I think in '63 they put Telstar up, and then we had a satellite system. They put more up after that, but Telstar was the first satellite telephone service. And in '63 they made a song. Some rock and roll group made a song about Telstar. It was kind of interesting. It was definitely history. Now we look at this and we say, okay, so it did telephone. Well, as a kid, for the older generation out there, if you remember turning on TV, about when it went from black and white to color, and your parents would turn on a TV show, and live from New York City. Well, that's how that live signal got to all the towns, is via the microwave towers. Microwave carried telephone, television, radio, all other forms of communications. They also carried all the military communications. AT&T had a contract with the military. They would provide the phone service between military bases. During the Cold War, they provided the communication links between all the missile silos. If you live in Los Angeles, we had missile silos all up the San Gabriel Mountains. We had probably 6 or 7 of them up there. And they were for offshore protection. If a bomber was ever sighted coming in from Russia over the ocean, they would send off missiles that were just high explosive missiles, and also some of them were nuclear missiles, in order to take the aircraft out of the air before they made it to the coastline. But very, very large part of our history. Now they're owned by Towers Incorporated, something like that. And they rent space out for other communications. Now there's one of these up in, outside of Baker, up at the top of Topaz Mountain. You can drive all the way up to the top of it. It makes this place looked like an outhouse. It's huge. It had tons and tons of the antennas, the microwave antennas, facing all different directions. It was a switching station. And in town of Baker, they have housing development. When AT&T lost their towers and shut it down, they turned it into a low-security prison. But there's probably 20 houses, 30 houses there. And that was the people lived that manned Turquoise Station. Now, most of these stations can withstand a distance hit from a nuclear bomb. But the ones like Turquoise and a few others over the distance, they can survive almost a direct hit. Something like, they can survive a hit like 2 or 3 miles away and be perfectly operational. Their towers, their antennas, everything was designed for protection. And people working there always knew that if we got bombed, they would be the survivors and nobody else would be. Kind of an eerie thing to go to work every day during the height of the missile crisis with the Cold War. But yes, these played a big part of history in our country. And those horned antennas have to be pointed directly from one to the next one, or they won't pick a signal if it's a pinpoint signal. Okay, I'll film a whole bunch of other ones as I find them and come across them. And we can figure out what's going on with these and who's got them and where they're going. Thank you so much for watching. I'm starting to lose daylight. I've got the freeway that way at about 20 miles, and then I got to go Interstate 40 all the way to the high desert, Apple Valley, California. So everybody have a very nice, blessed evening. The sunset is nice tonight. The first chance I get, I'm going to get across this road and back to my vehicle. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And pass the information on to anybody you know that might be interested. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.